Wall Street veteran Bernard Madoff has been arrested and charged with running a $50 billion Ponzi scheme.
Congress wants to know what caused the Enron meltdown.
Now, while the collective rage currently is focused on WorldCom,
Tyco CEO Dennis Kozlowski was convicted of looting hundreds of millions of dollars.
This is one of the biggest fraud cases ever.
Their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
Find out more on this week's episode of White Collars, Red Hands.
If I told you, I'd have to kill you. We've heard this saying, and when we hear it, we chuckle because it can't be serious, right? Right? For the normal everyday person, there's no way that there's anything so top secret that if you know it, it would result in ending someone else's life. Never say never. Today, we look at a story with a secret so big it ended with murder. Find out what happened on this week's episode of White Collars, Red Hands.
Oh my God, is this like a rich person form of clue?
Yeah.
It was, oh God, what's that guy's name? What's anyone's name? Who's anyone we've ever covered right now? Oh my God.
Any podcast person we've ever covered?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jack Abramoff.
I was trying to think of the guy who ran, Enron. Stallings? I think his last name
Oh
was
God, I
Stallings.
don't remember his name.
Anyway, it was Stallings in the internal audit room with the shredder. It was what I was trying to get, and then I blanked.
You botched it.
I blanked on
You
it.
botched your joke.
I don't know, man. Struggle busing recently.
I feel that. I feel that.
My brain don't work so good no more.
No, same. Well, it's never worked. And on that note, welcome to another episode of White Collars, Red Hands.
I'm Kishan.
And I'm Nina. And welcome to the season 16? 15? What are we on?
16, bro.
Welcome to the season 16 finale.
That's got to be at or close to the seasons of Law and Order SVU, right?
They've got way more than that.
So, I mean,
Bam, bam.
that's what we aspire for, is we want to have more seasons than Law and Order SVU.
Oh, we could do it.
Yeah.
Let's look. How many seasons of SVU? 25.
Whoa.
25 seasons of Law and Order SVU. We're coming for you.
All right, yeah, so only 10 more of these, and we'll have more, and we can.
Yes.
Maybe we can think about hanging up the mics at that point.
I mean, if that's what you want to do.
A solid run. Yeah, it's your week, please.
Now you're like making me feel like you want to end the podcast.
I said in 10 seasons, that's literally like almost double the time. We will have been almost podcasting for 8 years at that point.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. All right, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens by then. This week's episode is a fan-submitted episode. So shout out to Cindy for sending us this one. We appreciate you, and we appreciate your support.
You're a real one.
You are a real one. Every single week, we tell you if you have an episode or a story that you want us to cover, send it to us, and that is what Cindy did. Thank you so much, Cindy.
Follow Cindy's lead.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Send us your stuff, man.
Mm-hmm. We appreciate you, Cindy. So, on that note, this week's episode, this season finale, is about Lori Isenberg.
And remind the people, Nina, what do we do on season finales?
We get drunk and get strippers. Just kidding. We cover a murder.
It's like 9 minutes afterwards. You can't tell them that.
Oh, wait. Shh.
People think that we're like adults and not debaucherous. Is debaucher?
I don't think anyone who has followed us at all actually thinks we're responsible adults.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no.
Fair enough.
No, not ever. But yes, we do cover a murder. So we begin our story looking at a lovely, happy couple. Lori and Larry Isenberg were the it couple in their small town of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And yes, their names are Lori and Larry. That's like the same name.
Hey, man, I mean, some people think that's cute. What I'm more concerned about is that a town in Idaho does not need this, like, ridiculous...
fancy name?
This fancy French name.
Coeur d'Alene.
Sounds like I'm ordering an entree at a restaurant that I just pointed to on a menu, and I have no idea what's about to come out.
I'm going to be super honest. I didn't know how to say this until I heard it pronounced.
Coeur d'Alene?
Coeur d'Alene.
Sure.
Coeur d'Alene.
I think that one might be bordering into stereotypical territory.
That's fine. Coeur d'Alene is a picturesque town that is located in northern Idaho. The town is home to about 56,000 people and is the most populous town in northern Idaho. Nature is the big attraction of this town, so if you like hiking and doing outdoor stuff, this is the place for you.
Our big attraction is that most of our town is uninhabited. So,
Our biggest attraction is the mountain.
so that you can leave the actual town part and go and do a bunch of trees. That's
Literally.
cool.
Literally. It is a very beautiful place, though. I looked at pictures. I saw some clips. It's very nice.
I'm sure.
If you go to Idaho, get yourself a potato and visit Coeur d'Alene. This is not an ad. This is not an ad for Coeur d'Alene, but if Coeur d'Alene, if you're listening and you want us to sponsor us, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll do a very potato-centric ad for you.
I love potatoes.
Who doesn't, Nina?
I will eat as many potatoes as I can in 10 minutes if you give us a sponsor deal. I will Joey Chestnut the shit out of some baked potatoes.
I think the amount of potatoes that you can eat in how many minutes did you say?
10.
10 minutes is like 2. Like, it would just be very anticlimactic. Like, I don't want to sit down and watch some random Ohio white girl eat 2 baked potatoes.
Someone would.
I'm not me.
Lori Isenberg grew up in Coeur d'Alene and was in the logging industry, like many other people in the town. It's a big logging town.
Big logging town?
Yeah.
Because all the forest around.
Yes.
Right? Trees?
Yeah. They drop a lot of
Equal
logs. They lay logs. What's that called when you poop? Laying logs. Sawing logs.
No, it's you had it right the first time. Stop digging this hole. It's dropping logs.
Dropping logs.
Stop there.
Yeah. Everybody in the town drops mad logs, dude.
Poop joke. Nice.
He got his degree in forestry, which was a degree that I did not know you could get.
And you see over here, this thing with leaves on it? That's a tree.
That's a tree.
You get enough of these together, that's a forest.
Holy shit.
Trust me, I have a degree in this.
It was said that Larry worked hard and that he wasn't the free handout sort of guy.
What?
Yeah, this is a very small town, conservative minded place. So he didn't, I think he, you know what? He was a hard worker.
He doesn't support welfare at all.
Apparently.
Yeah, absolutely not. He broke his back doing logging, and he decided to not file for workers' comp. That's a good man. That's a good man.
That's the kind of man Larry Isenberg was.
That's a good man right there, says the owner of the company.
Larry was married to a woman named Anne, and they had 2 children together, Jessica and Dean. Larry and his first wife were married for almost 30 years before getting divorced. However, at the Coeur d'Alene Chamber of Commerce, he met Lori. Lori is like a sexy MILF name, and that's exactly what she was to Larry.
Especially spelled with the I at the end. Like,
Well, how else would you spell Lori?
I don't know, like RRY, like how they spell cabs in England.
Like how they spell Larry?
Yeah, but just with an O. Larry and Lori.
I've only seen it spelled with an I. But people always talked about how lovely Lori was. She was a people person. She was kind and easy to be around. Lori was a former Mormon, and she grew up really poor, often homeless. Her and her family would sleep in people's barns, and then they would have to leave when they got noticed.
Dude, that's crazy because it's a Mormon family too. So you know that they got like 19 people in that barn.
Potentially. I don't think that they were polygamous, so.
They just have a lot of children.
They tend to, yeah. Well, and you'll see right here evidence of that. Lori married her first husband when she was 19, and the couple had 6 children together. Mm-hmm. When she and her husband got divorced, she left the church and moved to Coeur d'Alene with her daughters. All of the children were daughters.
6 daughters?
6 daughters.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
What's that say about that guy's nutsack?
What?
Well, doesn't the man's sperm determine the sex?
No. I mean, yes, technically, because only he has a Y chromosome, but
Yeah.
But I think it's just random. I think it's 1 to 2. It's just 1 out of 2 to the 6 chance that this happens. It's low, but it's not impossible.
He's got a really
low.
girly nutsack. Anyways, Lori.
I'm sure it's very dainty and nice. Yes.
very, very demure.
Very mindful. This man's ball sack. Yes.
Very soft. Very swinging. Very demure.
See how I moisturize it? Just very lightly. I'm not trying to do too much with my ball sack, right? I'm trying to give a little lightness, a little touch. Very mindful. And that's where we cut it.
Lori became a force to be reckoned with in the business world. She really became a businesswoman. And after that meeting at the Chamber of Commerce, Lori and Larry fell in love and they started a beautiful relationship. Many people called their relationship a storybook marriage. They were that cute older couple that people see and go, I want to love like that.
Yeah, remember that part in the storybook where the guy had to divorce his wife of 30 years to get with this lady? Such a
beautiful.
Such a storybook love.
It's
oh my
a
God.
storybook love.
I'm tearing up.
Well, I mean, technically there are sad books, so.
Yeah, this is like a Leo Tolstoy book, actually. That's kind of storybook marriage.
They were proof that second marriages could be beautiful, and their relationship inspired many. They gave back to the community. Larry ran the Fire Smart program, which helped prevent forest fires, making Smokey the Bear proud. And Lori became the executive director of the North Idaho Housing Coalition, a program that helps low-income families obtain housing.
Oh, because she was homeless as a kid.
She was homeless as a kid.
I know this is going a bad place, but actually right now, I mean, like,
it's a beautiful story.
He's literally preventing forest fires,
Yeah.
and she is helping house the underhoused.
Yeah,
so
it's beautiful.
Can't wait.
The couple lived comfortably and happy, and it seemed like their life was picture perfect. Until a chilly morning in February.
Yo, do I still have that? Nope, that's not it.
Kind of.
Oh,
That's a little dramatic. Well, what's about to happen is dramatic.
I mean, I don't know.
February 13th, 2018, the day before Valentine's Day at 10:23 a.m., there was a phone call made to 911. The person making the phone call is Lori Isenberg. In tears, she told the 911 operator that she was on the lake and that her husband had had a stroke and fell into the water. She was unsure what part of the lake she was on. She said that he fell off the front of the boat and that she tried to grab him, but when she tried to grab him, she fell and hit her head.
Like on the boat?
Yeah, on something on the boat.
All right.
When first responders found Lori, she was bloody and her blood was found around the boat. Lori had said that she got a bloody nose when she tripped trying to save her husband. Authorities were not hopeful that Larry Isenberg would be alive when they found him due to the temperature of the water and the time that had passed since she had called 911.
How long has he been under there? About 25 minutes? I don't know. He might not be alive. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a paramedic, right? But I don't know.
Well,
the water's kind of chilly, actually. You might.
It was about 2 hours from the time that he fell into the lake to when she called 911. So
He's like, how long did you say? 2 hours?
he can dog paddle, right?
He might be dead. Sometimes at the bottom, you know, if there's like a boat down there, you can get under there and put your head in the bubble. Right, like they did in Pirates of the Caribbean, and you can live under there for a little bit, but I'm not gonna hold out hope.
Lori had claimed that they had been out on the lake because they were doing a sunrise cruise before making their way to get breakfast. Lori claimed that Larry was looking at the motor. He thought something was wrong with the motor, so he was taking a look at it. He straightened up, looked at her, and she said that he had a look of confusion on his face. After he had looked at her, looking all confused, he collapsed and fell over the side of the boat. Lori said that she couldn't call 911 right away because she had left her phone in the car when they went on the boat. She claimed that she couldn't find Larry's phone because she thought that it had fallen into the lake with him. She said that usually he kept his phone in his pocket. Lori said that she went around the lake looking for Larry for about an hour before the motor went out. During this time, she found Larry's phone in a pile of blankets, and that's when she called 911. Lori said she had been searching for him via boat, and Lori said that while searching for him via boat, she was going log to log looking for him. Now, this was a red flag to investigators because at this time of year, there weren't going to be very many logs in the lake, if any at all.
What? Is that from like the logging industry? Like,
yeah.
Do they still put all the logs in the water like they used to?
I think so.
Wild.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about logging, surprisingly.
I don't know. I watched a documentary on this and
there wasn't a section about how logging works?
They showed a lot of logs in the water.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, if they're not in the water, how do you do that
that
thing
dance
where you stay on top of them without falling in?
While circling the lake, Lori would have passed docks and houses, using them to help her find her husband or to call 911. Like, she had plenty of opportunity to get help and then didn't.
I got to keep checking all these logs.
I got to look at this log. At first, Lori was not a suspect in the death of her husband. Many thought that this was truly an accident. She was even quoted saying, "I'd kill myself before I hurt Larry." Larry's body was found on March 1st, 2018, about 2 weeks after he fell in the water.
Ooh.
His body was floating upside down for about 4 miles from where he allegedly fell off the boat. Something suspicious about this is when police did a test with dummies, so I guess they were like throwing dummies into the water, the dummies had floated in the opposite direction of where his body was found. Something's fishy. Get it, fishy lake water drowning.
Sometimes I think it's just like, it's got to be so weird to be a cop and you're like, one day they're just like, hey, we gotta go throw some dummies into the lake.
See which way they float.
And you're like, we get paid for this? And you're like, yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
What are you talking about? Of course.
Absolutely.
And then tomorrow we have to pull over a bunch of people of color disproportionately.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, wait. Sorry, that's every day.
Oh, that's every day.
Sorry, that's every day.
Hey, don't worry. If you're in New York City and somebody doesn't pay for their train, you get to shoot them. So.
Hell yeah.
Hell
there we
yeah,
go.
brother.
Anyway, let's go throw some more dummies in the lake.
It was also said that he was pretty easily identifiable even after 2 weeks because of the temperature of the water. The water was only about 20 degrees. So
20 degrees Fahrenheit?
Yeah, it was cold ass water.
It's below freezing?
Maybe it was 20 degrees outside.
I was
Wait,
like,
hold on.
I was like, you might want to rethink that one.
It was cold as fuck.
Yes.
The water was cold as fuck, and it preserved him.
Nice.
It helped preserve him.
Nice. He's like Snow White.
Yeah. However, what's even weirder is that the day that Larry disappears, there's an article that comes out in the local paper. The article that was released was about Lori and how she had embezzled hundreds of thousands of dollars from the North Idaho Housing Coalition.
Ooh, that's not a good look, Lori.
Not a good look. The actual numbers and everything weren't out in that article, but the article was talking about how she was put on leave.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the article that came out. In 2015, so 3 years prior to this story, a woman named Virginia Tate, who was a forensic accountant for the North Idaho Housing Coalition, caught that there was some inconsistencies in the accounts. She was finding unauthorized checks being written with the claim that these checks were for housing renovations, but they weren't being approved by the coalition. Lori was writing checks and invoices for companies that were put in her daughter's names. 33 credit cards were associated with the missing nonprofit funds. Lori Isenberg had actually embezzled more than $500,000 from the North Idaho Housing Coalition.
Jesus Christ.
One of the red flag behaviors Lori was exhibiting before she got caught was that she quit having outside people in the board meetings. So usually she would have contractors and accountants, etc. and they were invited to the board meetings, but that ended up stopping. Tate claims that she quit getting invited when she started asking questions. Lori ended up taking full control of the coalition's finances.
Something's going on here. I'll watch it. Yeah, I'll watch it. Give it all to me.
You know, it'd be better if only I dealt with it so that too many people weren't seeing it. So nothing crazy would happen.
Also, get this fucking asshole Tate out of the meetings. She's kind of like not a vibe.
She's a bitch.
She's not a vibe, and she's 100% bringing it down.
She's ruining.
We should stop inviting her, I think.
So by January 2018, it was obvious that something was seriously wrong. Lori gets suspended for the investigation. Tate demands to see Lori's computer, and Lori did not want to give it up, but eventually she gave in.
My laptop hit its head and fell into the lake. You can't have it.
You can't have it.
You can't have it.
Tate noted that Lori did not look like herself that day. Normally, Lori was very well put together and looked healthy. And Tate said that it looked like Lori's hair hadn't been brushed in weeks and that her skin looked really bad. And it's not because she was a white woman in her 60s.
Okay, this is giving like Mean Girl vibes.
Yeah, it is.
She said that I couldn't sit with her, but guess what? She looked like fucking shit today.
She looked awful.
Like, if we're being honest, like, her skin, which is usually like alabaster, looked pretty fucking dingy today, if I'm being honest.
Larry and his children had no idea about the financial crimes. And since Lori's daughters were involved in the scheme, they ended up getting prosecuted for this. Her daughters, Jessica and Amber, were sentenced with conspiracy to commit federal program fraud, and each of them ended up having to pay restitution of $15,000 and $16,000.
Well, hey, at least looking at it, that's only 33% of her daughters.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, and they were also sentenced to 3 years probation and 100 hours of community service. Her other daughters, so 4 daughters were involved in this in total. So it was like
66%.
Yeah, it was more than half. Her other daughters also pled guilty to conspiracy to commit federal program fraud. What's just like mind-blowing and frustrating about all of this is that Lori came from a life of poverty. She grew up homeless. She knows firsthand how important it is for people to have affordable housing. And the fact that she essentially stole from herself as a child is pretty disgusting. We always talk about healing. You know, everybody on the internet's like, I need to heal my inner child. We always talk about that, but she was actively causing her inner child more pain.
I think the only thing this proves is that we are following some very different people on social media platforms. Because I tell you what, I don't think I'm getting any videos about healing my inner child. So
I think you do need to heal your inner child.
Nope. I'd actually just I'd like to avoid all that. If I don't think about an inner child, then I don't have one, and it's not hurting because I'm not aware of it. No one told me anything different.
And that's why you do it.
No one told me anything different right now.
That's why you do improv. Okay. I don't know. She's a disgusting person.
No, yeah. I mean, it's obviously quite evil, for sure.
Lori claimed that she did this for her daughters because they had encountered some unexpected expenses that Lori couldn't help them out with. And apparently, some of her daughters had been slapped with some medical bills that they weren't able to afford. So 2 weeks after Larry's death, police investigated the Isenberg's home. When the police got to the residence, Lori was shredding documents.
Not a good look.
Nope. When they searched the home, police found Larry's wallet in a desk, which was odd considering that they were going to go on a breakfast date.
Sorry, I was kind of right with my clue guess. It was just Lori Isenberg in the drawing room with the shredder. So
yes, with the shredder.
I at least had the weapon. You
kind of did. You did.
At least.
They also found a bloody latex glove and bloody tissues that were also in the home. And Lori can't blame this on her period because she's in her 60s and has gone through menopause.
Yeah, but did the glove fit?
But did the glove fit?
Did they have her put it on? Because
gross, Kishan.
You know,
yeah, she might have.
It might have been too small.
So after all this, Lori was arrested for 40 counts of fraud and 1 count of grand theft. And she was held on a $75,000 bail, which one of her daughters bailed her out. So after 2 weeks after Larry had gone on the boat, we said that they had found his body. It was 30 miles south of Coeur d'Alene.
The wrong way from the dummies.
Way. And when the autopsy was done, it was shown that he actually didn't drown. He hadn't swallowed much water at all. It was clear that he hadn't swallowed any water.
Oh, dang.
The autopsy also showed that there was not a heart attack or a stroke. It was found that Larry Isenberg had been given a fatal dose of Benadryl.
Oh, dude, that dude was tripping.
He was tripping balls. No, like legit was tripping balls.
Supposedly you hallucinate a lot if you take a bunch of, not condoning it, but if you take like 27 Benadryl, I guess you'll like see God or something.
Yeah, he was found with an excessive amount of Benadryl in his system. I remember there was a girl that we worked with that told me that when she was younger, she would take like 16 Benadryl to get high.
That's crazy. Benadryl is also like, really, it's really bad for you. It's showing up in like
dude, I'm fucked because I used to take a Benadryl every day.
Yeah, so the, not to scare you, but recently they've come out with a lot of evidence that taking Benadryl every day really increases your risk of dementia later in life.
Oh fuck! Is that why I'm so dumb?
I'm surely not yet.
So if you take too much Benny, you get really dizzy, you have confusion, you can even get like heart palpitations and stuff. So a normal amount of...
You put it in here, you're not even going to say it?
No, I put it in here for you to say it.
Okay, it's diphenhydramine.
Diphenhydramine, which is Benadryl, I guess. So a normal amount is between like 100 and 1,000 nanograms.
Which is 100 millionth of a gram.
Okay, so that's not much.
Or 1 billionth of a gram.
Larry Isenberg was found to have 7,100 nanograms in his blood.
So a lot.
He had a lot. It's like 7 times the legal limit. It was clear that Larry had been poisoned. And I'm probably on a list right now because I was trying to figure out, I Googled how much Benadryl do you have to take to die or kill someone.
I'm sure you're not the only one.
I'm not the, no, when I Googled it, it popped up like here's suicide hotline. And I was like, no, it's research.
It's like the Google AI being like, yo, everything's going to be okay,
it's going to be okay.
You don't have to do it.
You might get dementia later in life.
Yeah.
But all right.
You don't have to do it.
When police searched Isenberg's car, they found an empty bottle of Benadryl and an empty bottle of naked juice in Lori's purse. The police officers tested how long it would take for Benadryl to dissolve in the juice, and they found that it only took a couple of minutes.
Hey, Lori, did you guys get naked on that boat?
Ew.
Did you guys get naked on that boat?
It's cold. It's like 20 degrees.
Shows the bottle.
Did you get naked that day?
Oh my God.
One of the officers put the amount of Benadryl that they put it in a juice. And he just held the liquid in his mouth to see what would happen. He didn't swallow. He's like Bill Clinton. He did not inhale. He just held it in his mouth.
He's like a lot of other people I knew too.
Oh,
they don't.
Not me. Not me. It's one thing they can never say about me. And even though he didn't swallow it, he reported that he felt dizzy.
Okay, so like once again, what are the police doing? Like we pay these people to go throw dummies in a lake and then mix Benadryl in juice and then put it in their mouth. There has to be a more scientific way to do this.
This is the Idaho Police Department, though.
He's like, hey, can you send Janine out to the Walgreens? I need a whole bottle of Benadryl and a naked
I need
juice.
enough Benadryl to kill a horse.
And a naked juice. And please get me Green Machine. It is the only one I will drink. and put it on the city's tab. All right, this is the
taxpayer. Was 100 on the city's tab.
The taxpayers are picking this up.
So he believes that Larry chugged the juice and didn't realize the bitter aftertaste. So right before he died, Lori had canceled their newspaper subscription so that Larry wouldn't be able to see the article that came out about her. Lori Isenberg had some suspicious Google searches as well. She was Googling drowning deaths before Larry fell overboard.
Okay, well, I mean, nothing that's now not in Nina's search history, so.
I didn't look up drowning deaths. I looked up Benadryl deaths.
Fair enough.
It was also found that Lori had made changes to Larry's will a month before he died. Lori made it so that her and her children would get his assets instead of his children. This obviously makes her a prime suspect for Larry's murder. So Lori did plead guilty for her embezzlement scheme, and she was sentenced to 5 years in prison for wire fraud and theft from a government program. 3 years after Larry's death in 2001, Lori was charged with murder.
Dang, that took a little bit.
It did. It did. It took a little bit of time.
Murder cases, I guess, do take a while. And if she's already locked up, maybe they're like, okay, we don't have to expedite this. She's literally already in prison.
No, that's basically what happened.
Fair enough.
Lori submitted an offer plea showing that there was enough evidence to convict her. In the trial, Lori claimed that she did fix the smoothie with Benadryl, but she was trying to kill herself, not Larry. She knew that her world was going to come crashing down, and she didn't want Larry to know what she had done. And she also didn't want to live with the consequences of her actions.
And in some like weird Curb Your Enthusiasm style like twist of events, she was just like, he's picking it up and drinking. She's like, wait, no, I just and he's like, what? Stop nagging me. I just want a juice. And she's like, I'm just trying to. As he keeps drinking it, like what the?
It's like in Emperor's New Groove when the one person drinks the wrong thing and they're like,
Yzma.
That was Lori Isenberg. Actually, that's not funny. I shouldn't make fun of him.
He did die.
He did die. She said that she was responsible for his death, but the intent was to not kill him. So, like, come on, bitch. Why didn't you stop him then?
Also, my follow-up question is like, if your intention was that anyway, and then he dies, why don't you just still go through it with yourself then? Like, if you're really intent on suicide and you accidentally murder your husband, I feel like you would probably be like, I'm gonna do this more. Maybe she was out of Benadryl though.
She ran out. She had done it all.
Fuck, the whole
and
bottle
she was like,
in there.
oh man, I just really don't want to drown in the lake.
She's like,
this was my one chance.
It's kind of Benadryl or nothing.
She's like, I should have stolen more money to buy more Benadryl.
Ma, this is not going how I imagined it.
Her claim, the reason she didn't stop him from drinking it was that she had fallen asleep on the boat while they were out there, and then he drank it, and then that's like what happened. That's why she couldn't stop him. Although she claimed that the death was an accident, she was sentenced to 30 years in prison without parole. She received that sentence at 67 years old, so she will spend the rest of her life in prison.
Well, she might get out 98, you know?
Yeah, more than likely she'll spend the rest of her life in prison, but
ready to,
take on the world?
Yeah, take on the world. She could live to 114, you don't know.
She could.
She might have dementia.
A centurion.
With all the Benadryl, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe. This, I think, is a great episode of This Person Got What They Deserved.
She did kill her husband.
She did kill her husband.
So, and she got hit with the charges for the embezzlement too.
Which she also should have gotten in trouble for because she did it.
Yeah, that's a messed up scenario. Like,
no, it's super fucked up. How are you going to steal from poor? Like, stealing from the poor is just so low.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, at least like look them in the face. Like, go out and take change from the cups that homeless people have. You know,
right?
Like, be bold about it. Let people see you. Own what you're doing at least. You scum.
Yeah. No, it is shitty. Like the whole thing all around is really awful. She was an awful person and is an awful person and I'm glad she got what was coming to her. No matter what, always remember where you come from. Always remember your roots. Lori Isenberg rejected her poor upbringing and stole money from the very people she could identify with. Like I just said, taking money from the poor is a specific type of evil, and Lori Isenberg gladly did it. When fearing that she ruined her and her husband's lives, she decided to end his. What an utterly selfish woman. She ruined herself, her children, her husband's children, and her husband's life. No, but she is truly a selfish person because, not only, she ruined everybody involved. Now her husband's children don't have a father. The grandchildren don't have a grandfather. All because she wanted to steal $500,000 to line pockets
and then all of her husband's assets because she probably knew that he was going to leave her because he seems like not. I mean, I don't know everything about him, but he seems like not a terrible guy.
No.
So maybe he was going to be like, you've been stealing all this money.
Oh, no, I 100% believe that if he had found out that she had done this, they would have gotten a divorce.
Especially because, like, if you believe her, she wasn't even using it for things for them. So he might not notice, like, if she was actually giving it to her kids.
Yeah. I mean, not all of it went to her kids because I think about $60,000 total went to the 4 girls. So it's like, well, where'd all that other money come
$440,000?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So it's like, where'd all that other money go?
Well, maybe they were using a lot of money for themselves. Maybe he knew a little bit. I don't know.
But
it's hard. I can't imagine being married to someone though and just like not understanding their finances or where money's coming from.
No, because like at the same time, it's like I would assume they filed their taxes together.
Yeah, or like you have a joint bank account. You're like, wow, I'm seeing a lot of
right.
I'm seeing a lot of money coming here.
Yeah, a lot of increase. Now, granted, she did have these fake businesses.
Yeah.
So maybe
she made up like stories like they were doing well in the money.
Maybe I don't know, but
I guess we'll never know because
we'll never know. But I think the only way that like when we cover stories like this and the spouse has no idea, I think the only time you can truly get away with that is if like one spouse, like one person is working and one person is staying at home and does not work. I feel like that is the only way to truly get away with that because like, are you not filing your taxes together? Like what's going on? Because I feel like if you're not working and your spouse is like, yeah, I make $300,000 a year, I'd be like, oh, all right. And if you're a bitch like me, I hate taxes. So I'm not looking at the taxes. You can do the taxes.
Yeah, I know. I've helped you do your taxes.
I don't like doing my taxes.
So
it's very stressful. Very stressful. But
haven't been arrested yet. Almost that one time. But not yet. When they asked you for more money.
Yeah, they did do that one time. So. But Lori Isenberg did get what she deserved. So although this is a sad episode, it's very unfortunate for everyone involved.
Well, thank God.
One of the few episodes where like a person has truly gotten the justice that they deserved.
Yeah. Thank God for our boys in blue out there throwing crash test dummies into water
and drinking Benadryl
and mixing
juices.
mixing copious amount of drugs into high end juice products. Dare I say it? Clap for you.
Clap for you.
Clap for you. You guys did it.
And clap for us. That is the wrap on season 16 of White Collars, Red Hands. There's more where that came from. We will be back for a season 17, so be on the lookout for that. If you want to follow us in the meantime, we are on Facebook.com/White Collars Red Hands. We are on Twitter at White Collars Pod. We're on Instagram at White Collars_Red Hands. We're on TikTok at White Collars Red Hands. If you want to support us in a not free way, you can do that by going over to our website and clicking on the merch tab. It'll take you over to TeePublic and you can get damn near anything you want with our logo on it. If you are like Cindy and you hear a story that you want us to cover, make sure you send it our way. You can do that by DMing us on our socials or by emailing us at whitecollarsredhands@gmail.com. I think that's it.
Tell a friend.
Let them know about the podcast. Yeah. It's a great way to spread the word.
Yeah. They used to have these things called chain emails.
Oh, God.
So what I think that you guys should do is create some sort of chain email. And
that would be best.
Like DMs and WhatsApps that say, like, share this with 15 of your friends to bless White Collars, Red Hands. And if you don't, like a monster is going to eat you in your sleep tonight. One of those would be great to see. So if you feel so inclined, please.
Yes, please.
We can't do it ourselves. That would be sad. So we need someone else to do it for us. Please.
Please help us.
Please.
And I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will seize you.
We'll seize you.
We'll seize you on season 17 of White Collars,
Red Hands.